Kyle, I have terrible news.
Terrible news.
Terrible news. 17 Claymores are fucking dead!
Oh, oh my god, I was gonna yell, Gina's fucking dead! Oh, I'm crying. We don't know who Gene is yet. We're not allowed to speak on such topics. But remember last time where I was trying to find out a mealy name for
Oh,
Claymore?
we got one now?
And I
We got
said,
one?
mealy more? Terrible. Yuck.
Yeah,
Sounds
that
like
was pretty bad.
mealy mouth or something. No good. When obviously the best one is Claymere. What are we
Oh
doing
my
here?
god, how did
So, you
we
know,
not do this?
because I usually put Mir at the front. Merely
Right.
Vinland Saga,
Yeah, true.
not Vinland. That one, there's not even a possible one there. But you just got to switch things around, and everything makes sense.
Oh my
So we
god.
can add that to the pantheon of names here, and the pantheon of the dead Claymores. My goodness gracious me! But I guess we're not talking about all that yet. We read chapters 31 to 67, including 67. And here we are to update everybody on our great thoughts. There's never been such
Yeah.
good thoughts as ours.
Pretty good stopping point, in my opinion. That was probably the perfect stopping point, because if we stopped any earlier, this would have been a very different discussion.
Because yes, we nearly stopped 3 chapters before, and obviously the time skip happens where I was thinking about stopping, but then I don't even know why I thought it was bad, not the best stopping point. It was still a cliffhanger, right? We still didn't know if they were dead, and it was obvious they weren't dead, so that would have been annoying, and we would have just had to talk about that for 20 minutes. But now we don't have to talk about that at all. Terrific. Spoilers for the ongoing events of these roughly 3/4, if we count the last 3 chapters arcs we go through in this little segment here. My goodness. So we dive in. Are we getting into the updated overall thoughts here? My goodness, how exciting.
Yeah, I guess we should. Do you want to go first, or should I?
I don't know.
You can go first.
Oh, me? Where to begin? I guess it's... Now, we remember how we did the thing where we predicted things? We don't really have to do that again.
Yeah.
I think we'll probably have the same opinion again. I think I think it was probably slightly better. I think it continued its quality, and I was thoroughly satisfied. What did I have written down? I continue to like it a lot. I continue to be more and more invested. There were some real highlights and emotional moments / high stake moments I was truly invested in. I think the cast is rounded out nicely. Some parts are a little quick sometimes, I think. And I need a little more for it to push past the 8 barrier, the 8 out of 10 barrier, that is. I'm not really expecting it to, but I'll be entirely satisfied if it just continues at this quality. I guess some of it feels inherently undercooked to me. I would say I like this collection of chapters more than the last. That was the little dot by dot by dot point thing I had written down there. So yeah, that basically... Yeah, because to say it continues the quality, I think undersells it a little bit, because I do think all 3 of these / 4 of these arcs are better than everything that came before. Well, there's the Teresa backstory stuff that probably rivals it. And I would say from that part on, every arc has been quality. So yeah. I expect you to say about exactly the same thing, though you could... Oh, maybe we're coming with a left-right. There is a possibility you like it more, but, I've been hurt, in these discussions where Serial Experiments Lane is the greatest thing of all time, and then these 3 bastards, they just run it. They make fun of me. Some of them watch it at 2 times speed.
That's crazy to me. That is still insane.
So I need to protect my feelings and say that, maybe Mia, maybe this was terrible. It ruined it for you.
No, this was a good section of chapters, man. I don't know, the first group we did, there was just a lot of setup, and those early chapters, we talked about it. It just didn't really feel like they were how do I put it? It was still kind of finding its footing, I felt like. And
there's much more of a plot now.
Yeah, now it feels like, okay, we've kind of put up more cards on the table, and it feels like now it's a bit more clear what the shape of this story is, because we're definitely past the point of let's go town to town and investigate some Yoma situation. It is now kind of full on multiple factions, in conflict with each other, and we have our own
Politics.
little group in there. And world politics. It feels like the kind of like I said, the shape of the story has kind of come together a bit more. And I think that definitely it makes it feel stronger. It feels like these were just a tighter group of chapters with a very clear goal for what they want to do for the story. And I think I'm more excited about the future of the story after this set of chapters compared to the last one. And I was looking forward to more Claymore last time, but I feel like this time now I'm a bit more invested, especially in the individual characters. I'm very invested in our little group that we have now.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
And I just plain enjoyed reading these chapters more than the first set.
Yeah, so I read them both very quickly, so it was really it is a very easy read. I guess manga is always like this because you read it at your own pace. Like I'll finish a chapter, especially because it would happen where I'd like finish the arc or like the parts would change, right? You get to the end of a part. It's not always the end of the arc, but then now the title's changed. It's whatever part one. And I was like, well, I may as well just see what the next one's like. And it's like, I can stop reading halfway through the chapter if I really want to, but you don't. And then you're on the next one. And it probably ends with a cliffhanger because it's setting up the beginning of this arc. And then you go over the next one. And then it's, oh my God, you've read another one. And all of a sudden it is one more chapter until you're 10 chapters in and it's 3 a.m. or something. Manga's good like that. I remember reading Monster, something that I didn't have quite so much positive things to say about. And even then I was always getting hooked into reading more very quickly. Now with this fucking anime nonsense, you got to sit there. Oh, here we go. 30 seconds have passed and nothing's fucking happened and now I'm bored. Oh, there's an intro. Oh, bunch of boring shit. You got to go at the anime's pace. That sucks. We got the great manga here though to save the day. I had something to say about something you said, but this is a when do I not have that and when do I not forget it? So, should we go through a general outline of what happened, perhaps, and then do you want to? And then I have a little section where we can address the predictions from last time because I think you should do what I said first, and then we understand what happened, and then we can get to that one. It should be brief. We have sort of the 4 arcs as I've divvied them up here is the Ophelia arc, the dungeon arc, the northern arc with all the snow and stuff, and then the time skip section. I didn't even call it an arc because it was only 3 chapters, and we seem to be moving into something different. The Ophelia arc is basically Claire is sent. Well, we actually get a little bit more of a continuation from the scene we ended on last time, where our core group, who we didn't know was our core group necessarily back then, had they done the thing where they all put their swords together in the middle yet? I don't remember if that was only in this part or that was in the last chapter we read, but that's our cool little thing now that we do. It's like in One Piece where they all put their foot on the stupid barge or whatever. And we got a continuation there where, oh my God, I did read these like a week ago, so I might be short on the names. We need some help here. From that commenter guy that left 18 comments last time, Mia, can you believe it? Our favorite Claymore stan. True. You should know the name. It was on your channel. You should be shouting out right now.
I could pull it up. Here we go. Yes. Mr. Red Moon, Blood Moon 3161. The all-time Claymore fan.
I read most of them, I think. Some of the stuff I didn't think we should have known yet. So
yes, that's exactly. I read one and I was like, this feels like it's kind of leading a little bit. And I kind of started reading like the first sentence of each, and I was like, okay, I don't want to learn too much. I want to.
It was also very clear. He was leaving a comment like he would like watch the video, pause it for a little bit, and then like watch 50 more seconds.
I love that so much. I love that so much. Like it's an essay per like minute. It's incredible.
Yeah, there were some things like breaking down the continent and stuff, and it was also very evident this person didn't know exactly where like stuff had ended. Or like exactly how sectioned things were. So it was very clear that they could have messed up a little easily. I didn't think anything too bad was said or something. Everything he would say, he would always leave a like and I can't say any more on this now or something. It would be like, oh, well, obviously this is important then. Though I don't remember too many of the specifics. Um, oh, I was beginning the Ciliophilia section. Not the Ciliophilia section. My goodness, I like this part. But anyway, we get a part more of the flashback where it's like we get the signs of all of the top ladies. I was trying to remember Mariah. Is that her name?
I was thinking it was Maria, but yeah. Number
Maria,
6.
Mariah, tomato. What do we do over here? Oh my god, that joke actually makes sense because Mia is from America. Yuck.
That's true.
Says things a little weird. Where she does all the signs for all the ones that are like ahead of her, and it's like, especially number 4, Ophelia, you want to watch out. She's a scary young lady, and wouldn't you know who Claire interacts with right away is Ophelia, and immediately she tries to kill Raki, she tries to kill Claire, she's clearly much stronger, much faster, she looks like a snake, she'll be a snake in a few more chapters, everybody hold out here. And she's a very spooky young lady, and this is kind of something that would increasingly happen, and it makes the conflict, I think, a little bit more interesting, is rather than it being like the Claymores versus the bad monsters or whatever, there was a 3-way standoff here where it was Ophelia, the awakened being they were sent to kill, and Claire and Raki, and it was sort of like these 3 sides that were interacting. And this will sort of, as we grow into like politicking a little more, there's a lot more sides going on here. So I think it just makes it inherently interesting. But eventually, poor Ophelia, one of our old girls wasn't dead, Mia. My goodness, she was back. Yes. I forget her name of
Elena.
Whatever of the quick sword.
Quick sword,
what Elena. What do you say?
Elena.
Elena. I do remember that now. She wasn't dead. She was one of the ones that was sent to kill. What's her name? Teresa. My goodness.
There's too many of them.
Yes, and she saved her, and then eventually Ophelia awakened. She had a cool awakened form, and Claire, which is actually something we did predict last time, was Claire was going to have to beat one on her own, and she beat an awakened being on her own. Though it was with some help. She got her arm cut off, and then she needed a new arm, which was from the strong girl from the past that we just mentioned, and all this stuff. So the Ophelia arc, there was an awakened one. She was a cool character. We'll get more into it. Claire beats her and moves on. Then there was a dungeon arc where a bunch of Claymores were sent to kill one awakened being. It turned out to be a lot stronger. It was a man again, but there was also... Oh, what are they called, Mia? The big 3 bad guys. The Abyss of the somethings?
Yeah, the something... Abyss
Creature of the Abyss, maybe?
Something like that, yes.
The Creatures of the Abyss. Now, these are the big bad guys. There's 3 of them. They're the strongest awakened beings in the whole entire world. And it turns out one of them is in this dungeon, like, orchestrating thing, and she's like a little playful girl, kind of. And it's like, oh, what's going on here? You don't expect her to be the strongest, but she is. My goodness, she's so strong. We actually haven't seen the extent of her powers, and there's 2 other ones. One of the east, or one of the west, one of the north, one of the south. I don't think there's one in the east, but the organization is based in the east, so, it kind of evens out the power here. So there's a dungeon arc. They're trying to torture the Great Claymores into awakening so they can recruit them or something, because they're trying to get an army, because apparently somebody up south, or up north, is gathering an army, one of these creatures of the abyss, and trying to upset the power balance or something. And Claire has to go and rescue them. We meet some characters. We meet Galatier. We meet Jean. Galatier? How the fuck am I supposed to say that one, Mia?
Oh, I called her Galatea.
Sounds good to me. Jean, I know that one.
Sure. Let's go, Jean.
Sure. Except in Attack on Titan, it would be John.
Yeah,
so
I was going with that. But I'm fine with Jean. Yeah. Could go either way.
But there's a dungeon arc. They have to beat like the girl's second in command guy. They kind of do. Oh, they actually do, and then she lets him go. And it's like a teaser next time. I won't let you go or whatever. And that's sort of the wrap up of that arc. But we are introduced to one of the big bads, and it sort of opens up this wider plot about how somebody up north is gathering an army. And I think it is mentioned here that Priscilla, the lady, that no good lady that killed Teresa, Claire's idol from back in the day, she is like the girlfriend or something of the guy up north. Like the guy up north met this girl and wanted to like protect her or something, and so he's gathering this army. Interesting with the implications. What's going on there? My goodness, who's this creepy guy up north? And then, wouldn't you know, the next arc, a bunch of Claymores are gathered, about 30 of them or so. They're all sent up north to attack this group of awakened beings that have started to thrive. And we'll find out that these are all the problematic Claymores that the organization wants to die, and they're just trying to delay things. So their big number one Claymore, who is going through some sort of metamorphosis at the moment, can come through and win the day for them, and they just need to, they're throwing these Claymores away. Can you believe this is not very moral or nice. What's this organization doing? Perhaps they're bad guys. Who knew?
No.
And there's a bunch of great fights up north. The strongest creature we've sort of fought so far, this lion guy shows up. It's crazy. Claire has to awaken. A bunch of characters die. It's a cool old battle up in the north. And eventually the surviving group, which is sort of our core group of Claymores that we've been following up until this point, plus some extras that are going to be important in the future, I guess, they all have to fake their deaths, and then they go into hiding for, how long is the time skip? 7 years or something?
7 years, yep.
I'm just a genius. And then we get a 7-year time skip. We get the reveal that they're alive because it's a bit of a cliffhanger. And then they're going to leave the North now and go down and enter this as a faction in this brewing war that's happening. Oh, also, as a part of this, the Northern guy did go south and fought the Western girl, who was another creature of the Abyss, and did win. And there was also a tie-in with the Western Abyss girl, was a former Claymore, and her sister had to come in, and there was a cool little story there that we'll get into and stuff like that. And so that guy is gaining power. I forgot to mention somewhere in here, our boy Raki, who was the puck to our guts here, the Isidro to our guts here, got separated from Claire, had to run away because Ophelia was so scary and stuff. And ended up meeting Priscilla, and Priscilla was a very childish little girl, maybe has literally de-aged or something, and supposed to be the big bad of the series, and she's just a little girl that likes to cuddle with Araki in bed and is clearly not all there mentally. And this big bad guy from the north is a twink little Griffith-looking guy.
He's so Griffith.
He doesn't look too much like Griffith. But he's a little twink boy with a sword, and he's pretty cool, and he's protecting a girl here, my goodness. But he can secretly become a super powerful warrior, and is nice to Raki, takes Raki under his wing, is teaching Raki swords. So Raki might become a fighter at some point, and there's a whole plot here. It is like this, the sign that the series is expanded when now we sort of have two main perspectives. Mm-hmm. Where we have, we kind of have three, because Galatier, I don't care how Mia says it, because I don't remember. She's sort of a third perspective too, and a very interesting character. She showed up in the dungeon arc and helped us win there. All cool things that happen. Many good plot developments. We skipped over a lot of the best parts, as we'll get into as we progress. But for Elite RE who is listening right now, Mia, or anybody else that is just kind of listening to it because they just love the two of us, that's a little rundown so you can kind of understand the plot or what's going on here. Or if you just needed a refresher of what in fact we are covering in this video, that's it. Now I got some as if I haven't monologued enough, I've got our updated predictions mirror. You ready for these?
All right, let's hear them.
Let me tell you something. I basically predicted word for word this snow arc. My goodness. I said, as a matter of fact, let me look down here. I predicted the exact snow battle where a bunch of them had to go as a group up. Well, I didn't say up north because we didn't know any of that. Some people will die, and we will get confirmation that the organization's up to no good. Oh, it was genius. I said 3 things in a row that were correct. I'm a genius. Admit it.
You're a genius.
Oh, yeah.
Incredible.
Now, we had some other ones, too. Priscilla being the big bad doesn't seem to be true. We kept talking about that. That was our assumption, but that's all subverted a little bit in these, so we weren't entirely right there. We thought Galati, who we met at the end of the last ones because she was spying on our core group, we thought she was number 1. It turns out she's not number 1. We do meet number 1 and number 2, and it turns out they're twins, and they are super powerful because number 1 becomes an awakened being and transfers her consciousness into number 2, who is a twin, and both of these girls are hollow entities. They don't have any personality or anything, seemingly. They're just beings and the ultimate weapon or something. I'm sure they're going to develop some sort of personality, though, as we progress, as we battle them. She becomes a super strong awakened being on par with the Creatures of the Abyss monologues, our bad guy organization member. And destroyed a bunch of other awakened beings, and then was able to go back because it was that's their plan and stuff. So isn't that cool? We were wrong about that. the conflict with this no good organization was true. We were very heavily predicting that, obviously. Claire did have a fight with Awakened being on her own, which was something I said had to happen. You know, I'm a genius. Mia was looking for the party to expand, which has happened. My goodness, Mia, congratulations. And that was the last one. I told him a bit out of order of how I wrote them down. But our predictions, there wasn't anything too funny. I had completely forgotten I had predicted the snow battle. I wasn't thinking as I was reading it that I was right. I had completely forgotten about it. So to go back and hear that, that was kind of funny.
For the party expanding, I'm surprised they've done a really good job of making each of these claymores feel pretty distinct. I mean, I guess the ones we don't know too much about yet, like Tabitha, Cynthia, maybe less so, but a majority of them, they feel very distinct. They don't feel like samey just because they're claymores. I think this whole battle in the north thing it really made me think differently about the claymores, like, because we talked a little bit about it, how like, oh, some claymores seem a bit different from Claire, like during the Teresa arc, some of them seemed like a bit more aggressive, a little bit more like silly, and I'm realizing that Claire being so like kind of cold is just a Claire problem. It is not a Claymore thing, because all of them have
really
very,
cold,
very different personalities.
like,
I mean, she's very closed off at first. Stoic, I guess. Yeah.
Because she's crying all the time for her great friend Jean, who's fucking
rather than she comes off cold at the start, especially to Rocky, and you think like, oh, it's because Claymores are like their personality and their emotions have been changed forever. But they're all very different. They're all very expressive in very different ways, and that kind of makes it feel a bit better that they're all Claymores, because it doesn't feel like they're all just, it's not like a group of the same person copy pasted. They all feel very different.
Yeah. We have our old red shirts around a little bit where there's just a group of them, and we don't really need to flesh out every 24 or 25 member of the group that all goes up north. But even outside of that arc, like, well, I guess it's just Galatea. How did you say it? You said it way better.
Galatea.
I'm never going to remember that, especially on the fly. Maybe by next time I'll have it memorized. Our Lady G, she was in the previous arc, and she got fleshed out a lot. I liked her a lot. And then obviously we had a bunch of new characters, and even some that died. Like we had Undyne. Have you ever played Undertale?
Yes. I was thinking that too.
Do you think that's where we got the name from?
I wonder. I mean, no.
She's a big lady with muscles, and she really likes to fight, but she's actually very sweet inside. I don't know. It kind of tracks.
When did Claymore start?
That was kind of...
Claymore's old. I mean, it could be...
Claymore was definitely first, right? Because Claymore ended in 2014, Undertale came out in 2015, right?
Yeah.
It's kind of a small part for it to stand out so much, but I could definitely see people liking that character a lot. I don't know, I just thought that was funny. I don't even like Undertale that much, and I was surprised I even remembered Undyne's name. That's actually as far as I got when I tried to do the hard run where you kill everything. I couldn't beat her, so I gave up. I didn't even get to Sans, my goodness. But that was funny. And then, yes, was that the other one? The one that was very fast?
Yes, the wind sword.
Yes. And then this fucking lion showed up and killed them all.
I could not believe how easily he took care of Flora. That actually blew my mind.
That was easily the best part, I think, of Claymore so far. Maybe the Teresa stuff was better. But when this lion showed up, and just started killing people, and you're like, oh my god. Oh, and then he nearly killed Mariah, and I was like, oh no. You can't kill the great Mariah. I was so sad. I was sad for all the other ones dying, but I was like, Mariah has the most death flags I've ever seen in a character ever, and we're pushing it down the line. She is definitely going to die tragically, and I was like, not now! Save her! And then Claire did save her. Oh, that great page where it's like the Vinland Saga thing, but not really. Where it's like the page where it's like the long shot, but it's getting slightly closer as Claire tries to get there to save her. And I was convinced she was dead. It was a great tension building thing where it was closer, and she was just like, if only I'd been faster or something. And she's like reflecting in like past tense. It's like, oh my god, this is like a moment of big character growth where we'll remember this pattern forever. Where he's gonna rip her head off, and Claire can't, but then Claire cut his arm off. It was so fucking sick. That was great. probably my favorite part, I think.
I think so too. I think I agree.
Oh my god, he showed up. He was killing people. He had a weird thing. He was in like the volume before he even showed up. He was in the like title page, and I was like, what the fuck is this lion thing? It's crazy. And he looked weird. He's like a weirdly clean looking for an awakened being.
Yeah.
He was a cool guy. I guess that's kind of if I have any overall point that sticks out to me through all of them. I think the tension they create in the fights of it truly feeling hopeless like every time. And it feels like any of the Claymores that aren't Claire can die at any time. I think that is a massive strength for like how engaging the fights are. As I always say, you know, fights are lame and stupid, and anybody that likes them is stupid, except for Naruto. It's the one series with good fights. I don't want to read a One Piece fight, Mia. They're all terrible. But these ones I like a little bit. I think they're pretty cool. They're usually pretty short. There's a lot of tension, I guess, with and this really has ramped up when there are more characters around, and we are like, oh my god, this big fuck. Like in all of them, in Ophelia, she seemed overwhelmingly powerful, and like she was just destroying Claire. She cut off her arm. And I was like, okay, well maybe Claire will get a mechanical arm or something. Like she'll probably get an arm back. But every time I was like, oh, she's gonna reattach it, and then she would like cut it off again, and then like slice the hand and the like forearm, and then like step on it or something. And I was like, oh my god, what's that? How is she gonna get out of this?
Yeah.
And like Raki was running away, and she would follow him, and all this stuff. And I was like, this is fucked.
It is crazy in the how dungeon, hopeless it feels.
It's like great. It is like that early Attack on Titan feel. This is like, because I've been thinking about this, because I actually have been rereading Attack on Titan a little bit. I've read literally 2 chapters, so don't get too impressed. But it is like a thing that Attack on Titan kind of ruins on a reread, where you kind of, like when you're first watching a reading or watching Attack on Titan, there's like a lot of characters that all have like very little characterization. And I mean that in like a good way. Like every character will have like maybe a scene where they're characterized or something. And you don't really understand which ones are important and which ones aren't. And in retrospect, it's like in the first time you watch it, you're like, oh my god, the characters are dying constantly, and it like feels like a big deal, and it feels super hopeless and grim, and we're in Trost, and everybody's dying, and is there even any characters left? And then sort of in a read, you realize like, well, everyone in the top 10 survived, even though you don't really internalize that as an important thing, and like, well, obviously all these guys weren't going to die, they're all fucking secret Titans, and Sasha and Connie aren't going to die, and Jean's not going to die. And Marco died, and Thomas died, and Mia died, or whatever. It's like nobody even remembers these names once you read another like chapter or two. So Attack on Titan kind of, and we talked about Attack on Titan being influenced by Claymore a lot. It might have been trying to replicate this sort of helplessness, but I feel like it's done much better in Claymore. Like in Attack on Titan, again, it's just at the beginning, and then you sort of, no characters die for a long time. Fucking Owen and Kenny? And then the end, Eren dies. So, spoilers alert. My goodness.
I think you make a good point.
Claymore, like I'm on the edge of my seat.
Yeah, especially like starting this set of chapters with number 4 dying is kind of crazy, because like you would think that we're gonna kind of start near like the lower end, like with Claire, and then kind of work our way up the list. But just out the gate, number 4 is dead. It's kind of crazy, and then that just kind of progresses. And I totally agree. You don't feel like there's like, oh, the top half is probably safe for now. Anybody at any rank could just go. And that feels real good.
There is the fun game, especially when you know people can die. It's like trying to figure out whose time it is to die now is like really interesting. Where it's like, as soon as the Flora girl had the fight with Claire, and they like understood that their powers were like the same, I was like, okay, Flora can like. I didn't realize that like when it was happening that like, oh, Flora's ready to die now. It's like she served her purpose to the narrative and she could die now. But when she died, I was like, okay, I buy that she's dead because that's happened. It was really bad because Jean nearly dies like 3 times, and each time I was like, it doesn't quite feel right. And then as Claire started transforming, I'm like, oh, she's gonna pull her back and then die. And it was like a very sad realization. So even in the event that it was slightly predictable, it was like I was invested enough for it to be like, oh no, now it is narratively like reasonable for her to die
it's just
here.
well
She is
set
gonna
up.
die. It's like, Oh no. So it kind of sucked, and I felt that way with Mariah again because it's like she's like gonna get stabbed. Claire will beat the guy that stabbed her. She's gonna bleed out. They're all gonna get around her, put their swords together, and she's gonna give her a speech about how they have to keep going and beat the organization or something. I was like, oh, it could happen now, but it didn't happen yet. We'll get it in a few chapters, I'm sure. A few arcs, maybe. Maybe she won't. Levi was gonna die, but he didn't. So, I was convinced of it. So anything can happen. I'm not always correct on these things. But even Undyne was the other one. I think I mentioned in my overall thoughts. I guess we're just jumping around here.
Yeah, sure.
Fuck it. When in my opening part where I said like, oh, some things feel a little rushed. I do feel like the Undyne stuff was a little quick, where it's like this character was kind of set up. She was interesting. She had like a backstory, but we got the backstory very quickly and like very arbitrarily or something. And she like clearly has basically she's like a vehicle for us to care about. It's not Helen, it's the other one,
Deneve.
right? The Casca looking one.
Yeah,
What's her
Deneve.
name? Deneve. That's right.
Mm-hmm.
Now she has two swords too, and she was for like she's gonna remember.
Sick moment, by the way. Her picking up the sword is so sick.
Yes,
because I actually really liked Undyne, but I agree.
Yeah.
I totally agree that it felt like we really crammed her backstory in, and I didn't really realize it until we're talking about it now that it was kind of just to give more substance to Deneve at the end of this.
Yeah.
But I really liked Undyne. I loved her style. I loved like her muscling through the Yoma energy controlling powers.
That was cool.
It was so good.
Yes. The yeah, because it feels like she should have like been introduced. This one survived, disappeared for an arc, reunited, and then died, and then it would have had like more impact if she was like a character that hadn't just been around for like 5 chapters. That wouldn't really have worked with the series structure, so there's no real way around it, I guess, cleanly. But yes, it seems like Deneve is getting more focused than Helen, right? Helena? What's her name?
Yeah, Helen.
Helen?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Helen, Tabitha, and Cynthia are kind of like the... Oh, and Uma, I guess.
Helen's definitely a step above them, I think. Just because
definitely she was part of that OG, the OG crew. Yeah, Cynthia, Tabitha, Uma are definitely the less, I guess, characterized ones, but I feel like they definitely, like, there's some room to grow.
Because one of them's following Claire around as she, like, investigated right at the end. So that'll probably develop.
Who was that? That was Uma, I think. Yeah, that was Uma, because she's 40. Yeah, number 40.
Yeah. But yeah, all that stuff was cool. I don't know. Or the character, because it's all really good. Because I went to say the character writing is really great.
Yeah, I agree.
It's just at such a level where it isn't like peaking to like one of my favorite characters ever or something. It's like but it is very, very quality. It is very good.
Yeah.
And I do like it a lot. We'll have to see. Should we regress back to the beginning, or?
Well, I have one more thing on this group. I think the way it is set up with some characters getting more focused than others. I mean, obviously, 24 Claymores, you kind of have to pick the ones to focus on. You can't give them all the same amount of depth. But I think there's just a really good balance of characterizing a set of them very well, and then like kind of just arbitrarily taking out some of them. And at the end, you're left with like this spread of characters characters you don't really know, high rank, low rank. And it really sells Maria's kind of final plan of let's just hope some of us get out of this, but we all have the equal odds of getting out. I think that was just really, really well done. That the killing of Flora and Undine and Jean definitely sells that for me.
Yeah. There was also the other one too. There was like the number 14 one. She had like a braid.
Cynthia, she is still alive.
No, the Veronica. One that died. The other leader. There was a different
Veronica, number 13.
Veronica, there we go.
Can you tell I have these all written down?
My goodness.
It's so funny. I have this one page that is just number 1 to 47 with names filled out, and I've circled the ones who
Oh,
are
I
in the
see.
battle in the north, and then there's just X's everywhere. There's just what 18 X's, 17 plus Ophelia of the ones that died during this set. This list does not
Yeah.
matter anymore.
We got and we found out number 5 is really number 1 X number 1 and
Mm,
something something. Um I was gonna say something about this fucking snark thing. Um Oh, it is cool that like it's not just the name characters that survive. Like there were like a few girls that we didn't really know who we will come to know, I'm sure.
yeah,
Um it feels less like fake or arbitrary or, like
exactly.
if it was just the 4 of them it would feel like, oh, of course they survived. But for throw in some other ones. And they were kind of the ones that would show up in the background a lot and you would recognize their hairstyle. So it's like, oh, that
True.
one. Yeah, I remember this one kind of.
But they
So yeah,
also
it
like
worked
totally like
out.
with the braids is totally giving like this is a character that's going to die, just like anime
Yeah,
background girl who's gonna die. So
yeah,
I was just really impressed. Like it didn't feel predictable who was gonna live and who was gonna die, except I guess
yes.
Flora in hindsight. But I wasn't feeling that. It was kind of like what you said
No,
that like when it happens, you're like, oh yeah, of course, okay,
because with the hopelessness tension, it's like the thing even in the Ophelia arc where like Claire's arm gets cut off, and there's
mm,
like, because first of all you're supposed to be like, oh, fuck, an arm got cut off. What is she gonna do now? How is she gonna continue without an arm? And then you're like, okay, is she gonna reattach the arm? A possibility for us to get out of like having to live with the consequences of this act, or B, she could like get a fake arm or something that's like super strong or something. That's a possibility. And I wasn't thinking somebody else could give her their arm and their powers, which is what eventually happened. But it's like you're pretty sure that the consequence won't be there for her arm getting cut off, that she will somehow get an arm back. Or she will just learn how to fight with the other arm and be stronger. It is crazy because when her arm gets cut off and she's like told that she has to train with the other one, and she's already like so much handicapped, like more than the rest of them, where she's already so weak and she doesn't have a lot of power because we learned that she's only a quarter Yoma or whatever, so she's like inherently weaker than everybody else. It's like, oh,
yeah,
she's every possible advantage she has. She's poor Claire, she's never going to be strong. Then she gets the other Elena's arm or whatever gets implanted on her and stuff like that. We also learn about the offensive and defensive types or whatever, where the defensive
true.
types can heal good and the offensive types can't or something. I can't remember the exact distinction. But yeah, that's all explained here. So then in the deaths, it's like when somebody, because basically what would happen is somebody would get stabbed, and it's like, okay, are we getting out of this scenario? And it's like every progressive step where it's like, oh, nobody saved her yet. It's like, oh, she's dead. And it's like part of that goes into that internal math of whether or not you should actually like buy into the death here is like, have we exhausted the narrative possibilities or what the purpose of this character would be? And for like somebody like Undyne, it felt like we kind of hadn't. But then when she like picks up the sword, it's like, oh, so that's what it was for. With Flora, it's like,
Yep.
oh, we did already like Claire did already like overcome her power, so it makes sense that we're gonna move on from there. And who else died? And Jean eventually, when she'd paid back her debt properly, it's like, oh, here we go. I guess Jean is the opposite of that, where she got impaled, but I was like, I don't think she's gonna die, and it's because she hadn't like had this big moment yet. And Claymore does it like there are some shows where it is like Game of Thrones with like the Ned Stark thing, where it's like, well, this character did have a million directions they could have
Yeah.
gone and like a million things to pay off, and we killed him off anyway. And that's kind of the point of that show, is that people will get killed off in the middle of their arcs because you won't expect it. Claymore seems to be a more traditional story in that aspect of like, we will like see through their thing, and then it will be poetic that they die now or something like that.
Hmm.
Like with Jean, it's interesting stuff.
I have one
Should we
more
jump back?
overall thing.
Oh
One
no,
more
go ahead.
overall thing. Who's your favorite standing Claymore?
I mean, it's easy to say Claire, right?
Really?
I don't know. I think I like all of them. Like, I don't know if they would be tiered too much. Like, Helen and Deneve kind of go together, but I like them both. They're both like making fun of people and being aggressive or whatever. And then Mariah's really cool. Galatier or whatever, she's really cool. I guess 1 and 2 are boring. We get the moment with number 5. which is a big sort of emotional moment. Um, we haven't got too much like characterizing there with her. Um, other than that, who else are we ranking here? Like I liked Jean a lot,
Mm.
even though she was kind of like the helpless following around type character. I don't know. I guess my answer is Claire.
I think Maria is my favorite right now, but I think
Yeah,
what I'm
she's pretty
realizing
cool.
is whenever Claymore comes on screen and is just being really cool for an arc, that's always going to be my favorite. It was Teresa, then it was Elena, then it was Galatea, and now it's Maria again.
I agree. I think the coolness is cool, and cool is the rule. Or something.
I do love Claire though. Just I don't know. I love when there's a time skip and they hold off on showing the main character, and then you see your main character and you point at the
Time skips
screen.
are the greatest.
It's so good.
Yeah, it's pretty great.
But we can go back now. Speaking of Elena.
Okay. Yes, because there are certain things we should probably highlight that we skipped over a little bit and stuff like that. I don't even think we mentioned Elena got killed. My goodness. She kind of let it happen. Well, I guess she didn't have any arms, so.
Yeah.
The Ophelia arc. I thought Ophelia was a great sort of menacing character. I think you feel empathy for her towards the end. Yeah, and I think she's really cool. I have a bunch of like minor notes. Do you have anything overall to say about her character? Because I'm sure my notes are very specific, like little things more than like general thoughts.
Yeah. I think this was definitely a good showing for the diversity of Claymores in how what their priorities are, what they care about. Because again, they're not just all stoic Claire going around helping people, but not showing her true feelings. Because Teresa was kind of similar to that until Claire showed up. But Ophelia is just like, she just wants to kill people. She doesn't really care.
She says she'll just kill somebody and hide it, and nobody will know.
And I like to how
which is interesting.
She plays off of the setup of Claire and Teresa of like, I give this rough exterior, but I actually care. And like she has the moment when the Awakened One shows up where she's like, you protect the boy, I'll hold off, or something like that. And then she's like, I'm kidding, and then tries to kill them again. She's just just an asshole. She sucks. And I love that.
There was a point, because towards the beginning, I'm like, oh, is she like testing Claire and she's going to turn out to be on our side or something? Or is she just like actually trying to kill? And she's just
committed to the bit. Yeah.
I think it would have been something very interesting to consider is whether or not the organization did know she was like breaking the rules, and whether or not she would have been sent to this snow mission. You'd have to think she probably would have been, right? The problem is then she would have to lead it, because she would be number 4, and they would probably prefer Mariah to lead it. I don't know. I don't think she's much of a lead of this Ophelia.
I imagine they probably like that they can they can reliably send her after Claymores they don't like anymore. Like, she's not going to band together with the other Claymores. She's always going to be doing her own thing, so it's probably very easy to manipulate her into doing their dirty work.
Yeah, because she's particularly obsessed with killing awakened beings, because one killed her brother, which is part of her backstory that she sort of reflects on as she dies at the end. And she can like sense that Claire is awakened somewhat or whatever. And is it here where it's implied that like Claire is using Raki as like a boy whore, basically? Or was that joke being made last time? I can't remember.
I think it was implied. Oh yeah, right. They kiss. I forgot.
They do kiss. I have a note about that. So
I could not believe. Sorry, not to jump in.
I told you. And you know, the only reason we're doing a time skip is so he can be older and he can kiss Claire, and it's not weird.
God. So
I do truly wonder, and I guess we'll do predictions at the end if that is the case. Oh, I will say something. I did like briefly, because I didn't know how far away we were for the next volume, so I did skip over like the few next chapters. There was like one of the cover things, not the cover for the volume, but you know, actually I think it is the cover inside the volume where the Lion Man was. And it was a little girl and a very, very big guy walking around.
Oh my God.
Ridiculously big, like hulking looking dude. And I was like, is this Priscilla and Raki? Is Raki like a giant dude now? So So I don't know who that is. Maybe that's a new set of characters we all meet. Um, but I don't know. This Raki Claire ship has just gone. The stocks have gone through the roof. It's gonna
Yeah,
happen. We time
that
skip.
reminds me. In this volume, I feel like not quite yet, but Rocky kind of reminds me of Sun in Fire Punch because it kind of separates off. You got the time skip. You got like I could totally see him getting like really powerful and kind of ending up in this position where he's against Claire, probably not by choice.
He's going to be connected to Priscilla, and obviously there's going to be conflict there.
7 years. Yeah, exactly. That it kind of reminds me of that.
Yeah, and it is true because he'll like Sun still loved Agni, and Laraki's still gonna love Claire and stuff, but he might be forced to fight against Claire. I feel like in the end he'd probably end up siding with her against the other two. It is interesting, and Priscilla's characterization is interesting, but that is after this arc, so I guess we'll have to wait to talk about that.
I don't want to skip around too much, but with Rocky, I have one more thing. Do you think next time we see him, he's gonna be like awakened, kind of like the rest of the crew?
I think
over
at
there?
Some point he is.
I feel like he kind of has
yet,
to.
Though.
I feel like any character that's gonna stay relevant from this point on has to be in that power system of some kind, in just some way.
I could see it in my mind's eye. So the Southern girl, the girl we met in the dungeon, she's going to fight the Northern guy. And the Northern guy is going to lose. And the Northern guy is going to have to put part of himself in Raki like Teresa did with Claire.
Oh my God.
And that's how he'll become
that'd be crazy.
Heart awakened thing. And then he'll have super strong powers, and maybe him and Claire can fight, or him and Claire can team up to battle the twins, and that'll be the last fight. I don't know.
That would be so, because Isley has definitely been given this very, like, he's clearly a big deal, and we're making a big deal of him. I wonder.
We are, like, he is training,
though.
and that has to have a payoff. Yeah. Like, this other dude uses a sword too. He's going to say, "Protect Priscilla," as he's dying. It's going to be great. That is interesting. Where was my actual note? Claire kissing Raki. Him crying beforehand was something. Oh, I must have not liked it. Why did she kiss him? It's kind of interesting. It's kind of like she's just like giving him what he wants, so he'll like run away. Is I guess how I would read it. She clearly
does care about it. It is a strange thing. It is weird. I don't know. I don't know how this is gonna shake out, but I don't really care.
It's I don't know. It's just like the heavenly delusion thing, which we brought up last time. It's like they keep reiterating in that series too, is like I think they might end up together somehow, and I kind of feel that the same way here. You've never seen Black Lagoon, right? No, not yet. There's kind of a similar thing towards the end of that, where like the little, and it's the older girl and the little boy, but it's sort of initiated by the boy more so. I don't know. It is interesting. It is like this seems to be a bit of an anime trope. I don't know. Again, it could just be like, this is a shonen magazine. You are supposed to be a 14-year-old boy in the position of Raki. Yeah, exactly. You probably think Claire is really cool. So is this just like well, fuck the ethics of this situation. Let's just do the power fantasy thing. For Claire specifically, I kind of read it as like in the last set of chapters, she had like the guy kissed her. So I'm wondering if she was kind of just. I wonder if she was kind of just like echoing that. If she's like replicating that, like I don't. Yeah, it's a bit I can't tell if situation. She has like a genuine. She obviously cares about him, but if she actually wants that, or I don't know. Because the heavenly delusion example is like this too, where it's like it's clear why the boy likes the girl, like it's a hot girl. But it's like hard to understand why the girl would ever like him back just because of the age gap, or there's also like the gender stuff in Heavenly Delusion that makes it a little bit more complicated. True. But like, is it just like literally like a male author like delusion where it's just like, well, you just keep asking the girl and eventually she's gonna like marry you? I'm worried that does seem to be the case. In like older relationships, like it's like that funny scene that I don't even think I ever got up to this when I like was watching Breaking Bad, but like the scene where it's clearly supposed to be endearing that like Walter White just showed up to like where Skylar White worked like 60 times. And if you listen to like old people tell their love stories, that is always how it is. Or even like most successful couples, it's like, yeah, she rejected him like 2 times and then she finally said yes. And then like they're lived happily ever after. I don't know if it's like an extension of this sort of like realism thing that seems to happen. I got no idea. We'll see. Or they just fight each other and then we care that way. It was a big moment where it was like they did kiss. That's kind of crazy.
Yeah.
But yeah. What else did I have written on this note? How aware is she of people's emotions? Oh, it is true where you don't sort of understand if Claire is like entirely emotionally stunted. Like if she kissed him so he would like feel fulfilled. Oh, never mind. I nearly said a massive Evangelion spoiler because it is just like a moment in Evangelion. But I remembered we're going to do that soon, Mia. That is the easiest and most obvious example of what I'm trying to pitch here, where it's like she just did it because she knew he wanted it and it's going to like make him brave and run away.
Yeah, that's what I'm leaning towards.
Yeah, which means that she has to have an understanding of his like emotions, which is interesting as an implication for like what Claire thinks and sort of knows. Because the relationship is very much a protective relationship. Yeah. Like, especially even later when she's like through the prisons and she's like, I have to look for him. He's like my number one purpose or whatever. And it's clearly also mirroring like the Teresa situation.
Yeah.
Which wasn't romantic. But this one has implications that it might be. I don't know. Potentially removing him from the... Wait, what did you say?
I said, Claymore's just so boring. Just yawning.
True, I just got to yawn, Potentially removing him from the story for a little while. God, I'm a genius here making my notes in the moment. The split up, which is what happened. And it is...
Yeah.
There is, like, this happens in manga. This was a thing that would happen in Full Metal Alchemist a lot. It happened in Monster a lot, where it would be like... Yeah, we're separating the characters for a little while so we can have 2 perspectives and they can do 2 different things. Yeah. It is like a moment in your manga where you realize like, oh, we are expanding the plot and the cast here because we have separated.
Yeah, immediately that came to mind. And the dialogue there definitely sells. Well, it definitely, I don't know, triggers something in my brain of how much I've like read before of other stories. Okay, they're gonna be apart for a while. They're gonna be apart for a while. But I didn't think it would be for... It seems to be much, much, much longer than I anticipated.
Yeah, I don't think they're going to reunite anytime soon. Like, Claire has her own group now, and it'll be interesting when they do. I don't know. Stories do weird things like that, where it is like... There's literally, right, like the Luffy and Shanks example of like 1,000 chapters apart or whatever, and it's like, well, I don't know if we're doing the like literally we're gonna wait till the very end of the manga to do it, or it'll be like a part way through thing.
Yeah,
like, I don't know what an example of that would be. I'm sure there's like an Attack on Titan one, or I guess Berserk when Guts and Griffith reunite the few times they do. But true. Anything else to say about the kiss?
No, I guess I just gotta wait and see how this goes. I don't know how to feel about it yet.
Yeah.
But I
don't know. It's
lean towards that interpretation that she was just trying to give him what he wants. But what does that say about Claire, that she was willing to do that? I don't know yet.
I mean, that's fine. I know it's like ethically it would get hot watered, but if you literally have to like what is the... how much pedophilia is okay to save somebody's life?
Yeah,
you're allowed to kiss the little boy on the mouth romantically that he doesn't die. Is that an ethical action? Almost certainly, but it sounds really bad to say, so let's not say.
The ultimate bad faith debate talking point of how much pedophilia would you be willing to commit if it would save a child?
Not necessarily bad faith. But we don't want to become Mushoku Tensei fans out here. Jesus Christ. Disgusting. Jockey Bacon read the whole fucking dumb books or something.
Yeah, I'm still processing that.
Unbelievable. So I guess I'll go back to my first notes. My first notes, oh my god, the first word starts with a B, ends in a Zerk. Berserk tendrils with the first awakened Yoma. These monsters are still looking cool. Remember last time when Mia said these monsters weren't the coolest things he'd ever seen? Now I will make an amendum. That there are a lot of background characters now that do look rather generic, even though they're like supposed to be these cool awakened beings. And this was a problem in Berserk too, where there would be like background apostles, and they would be like much more under designed than the others. And it's like it kind of breaks the reality of the world of like, so this one looks really cool, Mr. Author here, but this one doesn't, because this one's gonna die in like 2 chapters, or is just gonna be in the background, and we're never even gonna see them die. It like breaks your immersion a little bit. I don't know. I don't like it in either series. But the cool ones are the coolest monster designs I ever saw.
I do think I like the designs in this set of chapters more than the ones from before.
No, that again, guy from last time was epic.
I guess, yeah.
And Priscilla?
Well, okay. Priscilla looked... I don't know. That whole design style, I feel like I could see why it works for some people, but it kind of doesn't really work for me. That kind of like...
It is a very really specific style.
That very sleek and almost alien kind of...
Like,
yeah.
Yes, like alien. They're like... It's like not cylinder. It's like they're different parts or something. Compact is a word that I want to say, even though that's not what I want to say. It's like a very, I don't know, the shapes and the smoothness and the slickness
very
of
xenomorph.
All the shapes and stuff.
Very xenomorph.
Yes. Yeah. I don't know. I like it a lot, and it's always like darkly shaded. I don't know. I think they're great. What's your favorite one? Is it the lion?
I actually thought the lion looked pretty silly, especially the last panel we get of him when Claire kind of all her limbs transform, and yeah, exactly. He just looks so silly there.
I like that.
I mean, it was
incredible.
Before he died. It was incredible, but just the look on his face is just funny. I think my favorite
is funny
design
that he is just literally a lion.
Yeah, probably Isley. Probably Isley. If I had to pick from this volume, I think Isley was the coolest. The king in
the boy.
North. Yeah.
I wasn't even considering those guys. Now, those guys do have a different design aesthetic. They both did look very Berserk. Like, one of them looked like Irvine from Berserk. Oh, I want to get him back up. Like, because he was like he shot arrows, and he was like a bipedal thingy.
I thought that was pretty
bipedal
cool.
Means 2.
It seems like he can like transform his limbs into different weapons, because it started with bow, and then it kind of became like a spear and a shield
and a lance, I think.
Yeah,
right?
yeah, a lance. That's what it was.
Now we are kind of jumping around again, but the panel where the girl shows up and it's like a shot from behind, and she's like wearing unique clothing, and I was like, oh my god, I really like that panel. It was like majestic, and I was like, oh my god, who is this? And then it was like, oh, it makes sense that it's like one of the 3 big bads.
Yeah, I really liked her. I'm kind of bummed out she's already gone.
Yeah.
Theoretically.
Though the sister is still alive, right?
Yeah. So like Rafaela, like I guess kills her, and then
yeah, she like squeezes her. And
yeah, that was kind of cool, like hug of death kind of thing. But
yeah,
God,
the embrace.
I'd be really bummed out if what was her name, Luciela of the South.
Yeah, something like that.
She has such a cool design. I was like so excited when she showed up.
I realized like she had to die because like obviously the guy isn't going to die, and this is probably how it has to happen. And I was like, oh, and I did like it wasn't like they fought off screen or something and then she just lost. So I was like happy that we got as much as we did. Sort of understanding that we weren't going to get a lot. And then obviously they tie it into Raftalia.
Oh, you know what? No, I think her design was my favorite. I think her design was my favorite.
I'm trying to find her.
Luciela.
Which
like
chapter
when she,
is it?
Chapter, what is this? What am I on?
I think I just
63.
found. Yeah, I did.
Right at the end of this. Like when she has like all the, I guess, arrows in the different like mouths on her body, it's kind of sick.
Yes, I remember the mouths now. I remember the mouths.
She looks cool.
This guy with his lance, yes. Oh, yes, and she looks like a bunny cat kind of thing.
Yeah.
I guess more cat.
I think this actually kind of leads into a point that I wanted to talk about, but it might be skipping. You know, it's kind of skipping to predictions territory a little bit.
That's what we're doing.
All right.
Oh, I get predictions.
Well, kind of. But it's just like the status quo of the story going forward. I feel like this is kind of where it is really, at least the end of the Battle in the North, including this stuff as well with Isley and I already forgot her name, Luciela. It's kind of like this. I feel like the status quo going forward is definitely more of a monsters versus monsters kind of story rather than like, it feels like the importance of sword play is kind of going away, because it really is just like, here are these cool monster designs and they're fighting now. Like Claire kind of enters that territory too.
Yeah, because I think it's going to become a thing where Claire can transform and turn back. Like,
yeah,
because we've kind of got teasers of what her full form looks like. We didn't see it entirely, and we probably will, but I think that'll probably be the case with all of our main girls. They'll probably learn how to transform and transform back, I think.
I don't know how I feel about that, honestly, because I really like the like big, like small person, big sword versus big monster. It's an easy sell, kind of David versus Goliath. And when it,
well, I guess
I
it's
don't know, it feels
Goliath
like,
versus. Oh, you're talking
well,
about
now it's kind of becoming Goliath versus Goliath, and
Goliath.
And there's appeal in that, of course. It's kind of like, you know, kaiju battle kind of. I mean, they're still a little small, I guess, but it's definitely entering that territory rather than, you know, the kind of more human side of the Claymores fighting back. They're kind of entering the same space as the Awakened ones.
It's kind of the DBZ argument, right? Like, this used to be about martial arts, and now they're firing laser beams.
It totally is that. It totally is that.
I don't know. I'm fine with it. I'm sure they'll always start with a little bit of punching, like Goku and Cell, the little bit of sword play before they transform. I don't know. I haven't watched DBZ in a long time, but I guess if you're watching it the first time and and Goku's still in his base form or whatever, you're probably like annoyed that this is still going on. It's like, can we get to the fucking part that matters? Can we transform? I wonder if we'll do that. I don't know. It is interesting to note we are over a third through.
Which honestly kind of shocks me, because this totally felt like, to me, this felt like halfway. Like in terms of what's going on and how much the status quo has shifted. I'm actually shocked that you feel that way, because I really was like, how do we even, like, this feels like we're entering the end game and it's like not even halfway yet. Is insane to me.
Yeah, we probably just saw the beginning of Act 2, right?
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely kind of more of a Eclipse kind of situation where it feels like this is endgame because we're about to start a completely different narrative, essentially, in a new status quo. It kind of does feel that way, looking at the chapters, or the number of chapters left to go.
So yeah, I went the opposite direction, where I was like, oh, I think I just always, when I start things, I always think that, like, I remember saying, even when we were doing the Mushoku Tensei discussions, where I was like, this should go for like way longer than it's being explained to me this is going to go for. I guess it's like literally Naruto brain, where it's like, this feels like we're still like setting things up, and like there's going to be a million more arcs. Like, it doesn't feel like I'm a third of the way through. It feels like I'm like a tenth of the way through or something, and there's going to be like a million more things. I can very easily see, especially, like, obviously if it was going to be that long, we probably wouldn't have met any of the creatures of the abyss for a long time or whatever. And it makes sense. Like, Naruto is much more like molded to be a long running series, versus Claymore seems to have like a short, medium term sort of plan. But yeah, it is interesting, and I feel this way usually when I start things. It's like like, this is going to be way longer than it, but it never is that long.
I can definitely see why it only, I mean, I say only goes to 155. That's a pretty good amount of chapters, but I think this story is just it's paced very well. It feels very deliberate. It doesn't really dwell on things for too long. Like, you don't jump into a random character's backstory for all that much time. Usually if there's a backstory, it does kind of tie in very tightly. Yeah. I guess Teresa was probably the exception, right? But
that was Claire's backstories.
Exactly. It was Claire's backstory by the end of it.
And we didn't even realize until like halfway through, so.
But it's very deliberate, very tight. So I can definitely see why this isn't going to be like a 300 chapter story. But that's what surprises me about us only being like more around the 1/3 point than the 1/2 point, is that with how concise every arc is, I'm actually surprised that there's that much time left. But then again, I think a lot has been set up and I think we have probably
Yeah,
a
we
clearer
kind of
picture
got
of where things
three.
are going.
We've got like three people, like different groups to fight, right? We got to go
Yeah,
beat up the dude and what was her name again? The other one, the other big bad.
Oh, I forget her name. Yeah, the little girl one
She was
of the
cool. I liked
West.
her, but
I did like her.
we
Yeah,
got to
she
go
was
fight
cool.
her. Then we got to go fight for like we got to go interact with not Teresa, Priscilla and Raki, and then obviously we're gonna have to fight the twins. It's like which order are we doing these in? Like which one will be the big bad? Like I feel like the end of Act 2 is Priscilla, and then the end of Act 3 is the organization. Um, and the other one's gonna slot in somewhere. They might even fight alongside the other girl. Um, I'm not sure. Um. But I don't know. I could very easily see like they run into a few awakened beings, like side tangent arc for like the first 10 chapters of the next part we read or something. I don't know. Um, though I don't know. We're very focused on Raki at the moment. I don't know if that's something that's going to go back into the background and then come back, or that's something we're going to directly
Yeah,
follow through here.
and we
I
also
don't
have
know.
all these new Claymores. We got Clarice.
Yes, that's true. We do have a new one at the very end that it will probably be important. I can already like this is like a character archetype I don't like the clumsy one that comes in and she's probably gonna prove her worth somehow. Or yeah. She's annoying. I don't like her.
I'm jumping around again, but do you think there is I don't know. So cuz like Claire was 47, Claire supposedly dies according like as far as the organization is aware, Claire is dead. And then number 47 now is Clarice. Is there some kind of like I don't know if
Oh
it's just like
yeah.
a little bit by the author or if that is actually like is the organization intentionally doing something around Claire?
Yeah, like because the name does have lore significance for Teresa and Claire or the goddesses or something.
Yeah.
Um, so that's probably gonna. I don't know if we're gonna get a flashback or like a reading a picture book of like that tale or something. I don't think we're gonna go all the way Attack on Titan and have some sort of time travel thing. Let's go. Um, the
Oh
um
no.
the so yeah, I feel like that this might be something there. Um, like Claire is always destined to be number 0, like the worst one, number 47, that is.
Yeah.
And Teresa is the best one, but I don't know. What was the number one's one named? It's not anything to do with
The
Teresa.
current number 1, Alicia?
Yeah. Alicia, yes. Or Alicia. I don't know which
Yeah,
one it is.
it's one of those.
Uh,
Alicia. Could be
Alicia
either.
is from Claire Obscure Expedition 33. It's the main song that everybody likes.
Ah.
And a character. Um, but yeah, it's interesting. We'll see.
I got the
A
vibe.
whole new generation of Claymores.
Yeah.
There is some implication, right, that this generation is like a little different or something. Um,
I definitely got that feeling kind of, but I don't know. Yeah, they
those other
definitely
ones are pretty
talked
weak, right?
because they were
just
talking
died.
about how things have changed a lot since the Battle in the North. Like that was a very pivotal event for the organization. But I don't know if
Well,
that
I think
really.
the Claymores believe that. I don't know if the organization thinks that, right? Because they were betting on
Well,
them
yeah,
all
true,
dying, really.
true.
So I think it's just like the other Claymores, like, man, the Battle of the North, that really sucked when all of our older sisters died.
Yeah.
Uh,
Well,
yeah.
they probably are just a bit more outward now with the existence of like these groups of because they are clearly aware
Yeah.
of the awakened beings grouping up, but now they're kind of like outwardly at war with them, I guess. But I don't know how different the actual Claymores themselves are. Because they kind of treat
I
Clarice
guess
exactly how the other Claymores treated Claire.
Yeah. There's definitely some paralleling going on here.
Yeah.
I wonder if she'll follow like Claire around and that'll be a thing. I don't know. Is she Raki's replacement? I don't know. We'll have to see, I guess. I let me run through my Ophelia arc notes,
Sure.
and we'll see if we jump somewhere else. It's fine. The structure doesn't matter. Claire can use more power to save Raki trope. True. It's interesting him being the damsel. We've kind of already talked about all this stuff. Ophelia is a big self-correction for the normal-looking girl being samey. Oh yeah, remember last time we complained that a bunch of these girls are starting to look a little similar?
Yeah,
Ophelia looks very different. She looks like a snake, so that was a great,
yeah.
like, this one looks different. Cool three-way dynamic. Who's going to win in this between the two side characters? Obviously, Ophelia ended up winning. The kissing point we went over. These last two Claire fights have given a great sense of hopelessness. Well, you didn't know anything at the time, idiot. Even though she's obviously going to make it through, her opponents are so much stronger than her, and she doesn't have a secret arm cannon she hasn't used yet. Oh my god, we're shit talking Gus. Um, Awakening makes you more animalistic. Forget about your worries and just eat. True, I
I
guess.
do think it's
She
funny.
did like
Her arm was the reason she ended up winning. It wasn't a secret
true.
arm cannon, but she did get a new arm to
Yes,
win.
I think that must have been when her arm was cut off.
Yeah, yeah.
Well, Ophelia always looked like a snake. Ophelia turns into a really cool snake thing. I think all the bits there where she like has the wake, like we don't actually see her transform. She's like injured and it's like raining, and that was a really cool like aesthetic. Yeah. And then she like has the monologue where it goes black and it's like she wants to eat guts, and that's like the it's like the realization that she's transforming, because it feels kind of quick for her to transform, but clearly she's like got some internal mental weakness.
Yeah.
And then the reveal when she sees herself in the reflection, I thought all these little character moments for Ophelia at the end were really cool. And then she sort of like gives herself up a little bit, and she's like, well, Claire, if you can master your thing and cut all the way up to here, then you can kill me. If not, fuck you, or whatever. And she's kind of still being evil and mean all while Ophelia was a cool guy. And by guy, I mean girl.
Ophelia was cool. I do feel like this is kind of the start. I guess there was maybe a little bit of this last time, but just this feeling of the hopelessness is sold to me so well that it almost feels hard to believe that Claire does end up winning this. Like, obviously Claire's going to, but it doesn't feel like there was like a like weakness that got exploited or something. Claire just kind of got stronger by getting the arm.
Well, yeah, there is a lot of asterisks, right? She got an arm and she trained a little bit with Elena. Then Ophelia kind of let her win a little bit.
True.
It's clearly not like she can beat an awakened being by herself now. But it is like she did get stronger and then got out of it somehow. I don't know. When she wins, it's like more so than me like thinking, did she earn it? I'm just like happy that, oh my god, she survived, she won. Even though obviously I know deep down she's gonna survive and win.
Yeah.
I guess you get swept up in it, in the immersion or something, as the people say.
I do think I wasn't that satisfied with the end of the Ophelia arc. Just that last fight. I don't know. It wasn't really.
It was on the lake. I thought the lake was cool.
I mean, it was
like
cool. It was cool. It was definitely well set up in that way. I guess the execution, it just kind of happened really fast, and I didn't feel like there was as much of a struggle from Claire as I would have thought from it. But I don't know. Probably just me.
I don't know. Yeah, skill issue or something. Just how about you just enjoy Claymore like me? Yeah, true. For the dungeon arc here, I've only got 4 notes. It says, "It's just nature, villainous speech like Devilman Lamau." Oh, this is actually funny because this was a reference to me and Elitari's Devilman discussion from a long time ago. But not even thinking about me making this note, we actually talked about this on Elitari's most recent stream, which is kind of funny. But there's a speech where I think it's the creature of the abyss justifying her actions or whatever, where she's like, it's just like the food chain or something. This is why we do what we do. And that's always like a funny sort of like annoying little philosophical tick that happens a lot in anime where it's like, well, this isn't very interesting. But I ended up liking these two characters regardless. It is funny that it is just like the big dumb dude and the cool girl that's actually in control.
Yeah.
And she's like, this is my dumb boyfriend over here. And it's funny that she has a dumb boyfriend because Priscilla got a dumb boyfriend and she like wanted a dumb boyfriend too. She is very like girlish. And I don't know. I like it. I guess I'll just run through these other ones and then you can say all your thoughts here. Because I did think this one was really cool too, because this is the introduction of Jean and Galatier, our favorite girl. Now we've got creepy villainous awakened guy. True, he was making some sexual somethings. I wasn't actually scared anybody was going to get raped. This wasn't a Berserk chapter. But he was like, maybe I got to strip you naked to see what you are or something. And he's like a big dude guy. So that was a little creepy. The hopelessness is great. We already talked about that. Naked cloak lady is sexy. Oh, this is important because last time we talked about how none of the fan service is very sexy. But Jean was naked and fighting with a sword, and that was a little sexy. That's all I'm going to say. Oh, and that was something the commenter said. He was like, yes, the great Claymore would never sexualize a woman unless it had direct purpose to the plot. And I was like, well, I don't know about that already. So, generally, what did you think about the old dungeon arc here? I thought it was cool. Claire shows up in this like town. She like fucks up some loser goons, and they're like, you just wait. And it's like, the funny thing is, I sort of had the stupid like hero thing when she was going in. I'm like, Claire's gonna fuck these guys up. She's great.
Yeah, me too.
And it's like every fight she just gets the shit beaten out of her. But I'm like, oh, she's going to this dungeon. This fucking loser dude thinks he's tough shit. Wait until you meet the great Claire and her quick attack or whatever the fuck she's got. She's gonna fuck you up. And then Claire just gets the shit pummeled out of her. And then like two people show up to help her and also get the shit pummeled out of them, and they all have to sort of work together. It was great. It's clever.
I thought it was pretty solid arc. Yeah. I like Jean a lot. I like Jean's like wind up the arm and just kind of. I think that's always fun when a character's gimmick is like I got one hit in me. I just got one hit in me. I just
like
gotta get my
beam
one
cannon?
Hit. Yeah.
Everything goes back to Dragon Ball. I'm learning today. But
rocks. Rocks.
Yeah. But yes, because Jean is getting tortured in this basement. Can you believe it? This guy's pulling things out of his thing. Her friends have all awakened. She's like very mad. She's very proud or something is like what they say about her. She's number 9. It's like number 9 is getting fucked up. But Claire, she just beat Ophelia. So she's like number 1. So she's going to beat up this guy. And then Galatier showed up and was fucking him up. But then the Creature of the Abyss girl leaked her powers, said, this girl is just manipulating you into doing something or something, if I remember the power correctly. And once he realized that, he could like get around it, and she kind of got beaten up. But then they all had to combine, and it was cool. And they did nearly kill him, but then his girlfriend, boyfriend, there's something to do with something, and she saved him, is all we got to know. But I really like this one. I don't know. I thought it was equally as good as the Ophelia stuff. I agree, really cool.
Definitely. I think the back half of this set of chapters we read was definitely the strong point, and the first half was good, but there's definitely that everything from the battle in the north is just so good that I kind of rate I feel the Ophelia stuff and the dungeon one a little lower. But it was still good. I loved reading it.
I think for me they're a little closer, but the battle is probably the better arc.
By design, of course. The whole point of the dungeon one is to build up to this. Yeah, exactly. I do think it's kind of. I thought it was pretty interesting that because like Claire kind of takes Ophelia apart by the end. I guess it wasn't like a stomp, and you're right that Ophelia does kind of allow it. To an extent, but the fact that I guess this big guy is a bit more important in hindsight, but I was like, oh, this big dumb guy, like Claire's gotta win this one. And like he's like
still like
difficult, like he's like actually hard to kill. I was kind of surprised by that.
This guy ain't strong, and then they sort of figure out that you like can stab his hands because he's got like armor is like his power. Yeah. But then he gets around that and stuff, and he was like so sad whenever they would hurt him. It was,
and then he gets that moment in like when, because at the end, right, Asley sends a bunch of his goons everywhere, but then he kind of just goes straight south. Yeah, exactly. So we get a look at I wish I remembered big guy's name, but he kind of like holds the line. He was actually like kind of, and he has like history with these people too. They know him. I thought that was super interesting.
He used to be the number 2. Isley or something.
Yeah, I forgot that he was just like
He was
he's actually kind of important.
The oh no, I think he was number 2, right? He was beneath the lion, dude.
I probably I don't remember. He just doesn't give that. He totally like comes off at first as
like a grunt.
Yeah, a grunt. Exactly. So I was actually kind of surprised to remember how.
Because when you see him again, you are kind of happy to see him. That's what kind of leads me to believe like it's at some point these two are probably going to team up with like begrudgingly with Claire's group for a little bit. And I definitely think they'll lose.
Yeah, I have to wonder if we'll always be on our own side or if we will kind of be siding with one of the major factions. Probably
they're not going to side with Raki, because that's going to be like the final thing. I think they'll definitely like have a meeting with the organization or something, and they'll be like, "Oh, so you're still alive? Very impressive," or something, and try and win Claire back over or something. Do you know this thing about Teresa? And it's like, what? And she'll be intrigued, but then she won't turn on him. Or in a battle, Deneve will get injured and they'll capture her and take her back to the organization. Oh, I can write these plot points. But yeah, I don't know. I think now that I'm thinking about the future, I reckon Raki will just be like the strongest guy. He'll like be the only creature of the abyss or something.
I feel like he's gotta have a big glow up after this time skip for sure.
Yeah. I think I am almost certain about my stupid prediction about him like getting the Islay's like part or whatever.
Yeah, like inheriting his
Yeah, and then because he's gonna die fighting that girl, and then Raki's gonna be super strong, and the girl's gonna be weakened, and then he's gonna kill her, and then he's the only one. I'm a genius.
True.
We'll have to see though. I have no fucking idea. I did guess this snow battle though. I guess the only other thing to talk about would be like Jean and Galatier. Galatier is like Ophelia because they're kind of playing with that same expectation of she's like, well, I was told to bring Claire back, so I'm gonna kidnap you and take you back. And but then she actually doesn't follow the organization's rules. And obviously we follow her a little bit later because she's the one that sees the twins fight all the other awakened beings, and she's like clearly always like, she's like got a little bit of leeway with the organization where she's like too strong for them to send anybody to kill her, but they probably could get rid of her if they really wanted to. It would just cost a lot. So they're like sort of still on the same side. She's probably obviously going to be on Claire's side eventually.
I think so too. Yeah, she's just kind of slowly becoming like, because like they're saying, like she's getting too dangerous. She's getting too independent, making her own choices. She's talking back. Yeah.
To men. Disgusting.
But I definitely feel like Alicia and Beth are just, there's such a big chasm in ability between Galatea and them, where I feel like there's no, like, if Galatea
just a girl with a sword.
Because there's no way Alicia and Beth couldn't just like easily dispatch the goon in the dungeon, you know, but Galatea had to work with Jean and Claire in order to do it.
The goon in the dungeon could block like one of their attacks and go, oh, this one's actually strong. And then he'd get obliterated, right? He would get the one moment where he blocks one attack because he's kind of cool. So I don't, with Alicia and Beth in mind, there's no way that they can't just put those two against Galatea. And I mean, I don't know, maybe they would risk but like
serious injury to one of the
two. They hadn't tried it yet. And that's probably why they did it right in front of her to like be like, well, now you're gonna do what we want.
Yeah. Oh, you're so right. You're so right. It was definitely a show of strength from them to have her there to see it.
She's still gonna wander off.
Though. Oh, I'm sure. I'm definitely eager to see her again after the time skip, because like 7 years is a long time. Like I imagine they probably already tried to get rid of her during that time span.
Yeah, we might literally meet her when she's off on her own or something, and she's missing an arm or some fucking shit. I don't know. But true, I guess I can move into the notes on the Northern Arc and see if we haven't already talked about all this stuff. Another following motif with Jean and Claire. True, they do this a lot in Claymore. Somebody's just without consent following the other. We get it with Claire and the other Claire. Oh no, it's not her. It's Uma or whatever. later on too.
Yeah.
Controlling the quick blade by its strength of will. Oh, true. She can like cut around things. It's pretty cool if she just wills it. Okay, all the girls showing back up was pretty freaking sweet, dude. This is true. When they all like showed up, that was a top 5 Claymore moment. We were very excited to see our girls again after all the hardship we had been through. And then they had the little moment where they all snuck away and caught up and shared all the. That was cool too. And like some ice caves.
I can't remember who of our like group that fought the awakened being in the last set of chapters. Who died? Who did we lose?
No one, right? It was just 4.
Because we have Maria, Deneve still alive, and obviously Claire.
And Helen.
Helen was in that group too, right? Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, she's alive.
We must have lost someone.
No, I don't think so. I think you're confusing it with the group that went after Teresa.
Huh. Yeah, maybe. Well, no one died against that awakened being, but I was saying in the battle in the north, did we lose anybody?
Jean is in the group. Like, she follows Claire to the meeting.
True. Yeah, true. I had to go back
then she dies.
To that chapter. What chapter was it where they were like talking? And I guess it's probably like the second battle in the north.
It's probably like 40 or something. But yeah, I think it's just the 5 of them because they're like, oh, she's like us because she's like awakened, but she had awakened even more than them.
Yeah, I guess so. Huh. Okay.
The disposable. Oh, this is just a note about the disposable awakens designs not being as much. The line impact is huge. Wait, go ahead.
I'm realizing now the fact that all of our kind of OGs survived completely takes away from the point I was saying earlier. Like anybody could have died, but people
it feels like that.
It definitely feels like that, but in hindsight, I'm realizing, like, oh, right, everybody we were introduced to before is still kicking.
Yeah. Well, besides Jean, right? Jean's like the big one.
Well, yeah, I guess, but Jean came after that. Everyone who fought, like, came together to fight the awakened being in the last set of chapters is still alive.
Because the tension is very much if Mariah is going to die because the Lion is, like, trying to kill her and they all, like, have a moment where they see her. And because it looks like she is going to die and you kind of buy it. That's kind of where the tension comes from in the moment. But in retrospect, it is true. They do all survive. Yeah. I think they had to all survive, though. I
guess so. I think it's because I forgot that Helen was part of that original set because she was kind of a bit... She was, I feel like, less emphasized compared to Deneve. Like, Deneve, like... I don't know. We talked a lot about her
nearly
last
awakened
time.
And nearly died.
And then Maria's the cool one. And then Claire's Claire.
Helen was the mean one.
Yeah.
But so was Deneve a little bit. So I
liked Flora, man. I'm so bummed out about Flora dying. She
Flora
looks so cool.
Is fucking dead.
Flora's fucking dead.
Yeah. I can't do that with my voice right now. We're too far in. The Flora, of course. Shiraka's master in Berserk. You know the references just keep coming. The Lion impact is huge. I wonder how many of the deaths will stick. Oh, I was wondering in the moment.
Oh, yeah, me
Little
too.
Did I know.
I was like waiting for like Flora to be like, I used my wind to push the wound away or something like that. But she was like done. She was done. I could not believe
down
it.
For the count. What was his power? Like his slash was it just so fast or like?
I think he was just like he just had like good stats. He was just fast, strong, he had everything. I don't even remember him having like a special ability or anything like that.
Was it Ophelia that sword like bent or something? Or was that something from last time?
Yes, Ophelia had like the snaking sword.
Okay, that's what I'm remembering. Yes, okay. Great fake out page with the Claire watching Mariah's head nearly get ripped off while we talked about this earlier. And then becoming faster. Well, I realized this was probably not the moment for Jean to die, but she's about to make Claire come back from the brink, which will make her character come full circle and allow her to die. God, I'm just a genius. The undying death actually sticking is kind of crazy. Felt like she was gone too soon, ?
Yep.
Makes me kind of respect the series, though. Her backstory and then dead, I guess. Flora made a little more sense because her power was redundant. Kind of felt like the lion guy was killed quickly too. That is true.
Yeah, I felt like this should have been like a what's his name from Berserk? Oh, what's the name?
Mozgus?
No, the big
Ganishka?
the lion guy with the horns, and he's got the wings too.
Oh, Zod.
Zod, yeah. This should have. I was getting Zod kind of feelings from this. Like, this is our big, strong guy. Maybe we'll work with him later, but he's scary. I thought he'd be lingering around a lot longer like that.
A cool thing about him was he was not evil, like in the way the other guys are evil, where they're like cackling or whatever. He was like very like, and he was very like logical, and he's like, all right, we got to kill all the leaders. And then he was very like amazed whenever Claire or any of the girls would do anything like really cool. And he also,
I thought he'd be around longer.
Yeah, he had a weird relationship with Islay or whatever his name was too, where they have that sort of meeting where he sends him out. Where he seems like he's not entirely on the same page. But clearly whatever Islay is doing is like very selfish and something to do with Priscilla. Like he just wants to protect her, or maybe he like heard a prophecy or something that she had to be in a certain location or some point or something like that. Something wacky's going on there. Sister story was good. Teresa, soy. True. Teresa was a little girl. It was epic.
I don't know where that's even going to lead. There's definitely more with Teresa that they're not telling us yet. So, I mean, that's intriguing.
The sister's still alive. So I think if she ever meets Claire, they'll have a conversation about Teresa and it'll reveal something. Maybe it'll reveal like, oh, she was actually hiding what her true power was. If you do this action, you can get even stronger, Claire.
Oh my god, you're so right, actually.
Oh, I'm just a genius, just a fucking, It was great because it was the same thing where it was a timeline fake out. Where it was like, with the first Teresa thing, it was like, oh my god, that's Claire, this is in the past. And here it was like, the little girl, because you think it was like last year that this flashback is happening, because like the Raftelia girl looks the same. Obviously the Claymores don't age, so this isn't the most logical deduction. It's sort of just where your mind goes, because you're like, oh, this thing happened recently. But actually, no, it happened when Teresa was a girl, which just has to be like 20 years ago or something. So that was epic. Also, we got a little bit of insight into like the training regime. There's like a guy that looks after them that doesn't seem too evil. And Teresa was like in good spirits, and she was like, oh, I can sense you a little bit because I'm the strongest one ever. I don't know. That was all really cool. Teresa soy, I did soy.
I did soy.
How awakened are the awakened? Good question. They don't seem completely out of control. Oh, this is something that I don't know how I feel about, because they seem to be playing fast and loose with like, the twin seemed like really out of it and evil, like in her monologue when she reunited with the normal Claymore twin, where she was like delusional and didn't understand and stuff like that. Now that could have just been because she was about to die, but also clearly with Priscilla, some sort of like age regression or something has happened.
Definitely very Casca-esque.
She looked younger. Yes, very much so.
And like the kind of the what they call the kid as well in Berserk. The one that like Griffith is kind of like transforming back.
Sonya?
No. Like Guts and Casca's kid.
Oh, okay. The Moonlight Child.
Moonlight Child. Thank you. Yes, that's what it was.
Yeah.
Yeah, it kind of reminded me of that a little bit.
Because it is. Yeah, because she's like crying and looking up and like feeling emotions and stuff like that. Mm-hmm. And she also thought that all the lights had snuffed out or whatever. That was a cute scene. There's but then like the lion dude seems like he's no different to if he was a human. He's just like way more powerful. So it's like, how much is being awakened like a bad thing versus how much of it does it make you like not a human anymore? Like, it seems like they all want to eat guts or something, but we don't see all of them eating guts.
Yeah, like it's definitely starting to get a little bit more arbitrary of like what is awakened, or like, I guess like the nature of what being awakened means. I totally agree. Like, yeah, because now like you just have like these two armies that are using very similar powers, like, and now it is kind of more political, and it's more about power control rather than like fighting back against like a nature of it. I think that's what's very Attack on Titan about this, like how you go from we're fighting it's humans against the Titans, and now it's it's just factions of people using Titans against each other. Yeah, very much entering that territory now.
Attack on Titan at the beginning also tried to do this, like, you might lose yourself in the Titan thing that, like, they kind of dropped too. Where it's like
Sure.
Eren, you gotta, like, Eren, when he first transforms, like, tries to kill Mikasa because he's like he's got, like, Titan brain or something. When we never really see this from, like, shifters ever. Like, Falco becomes a shifter and then, like, immediately can, like, control every power.
Yeah, he's just like, all right, guys, possible. Get on my back. Yeah.
Now, I guess you could say, like, oh, he, like, trained as a warrior, so he understood what it was going to be, whereas Eren had no idea, and so maybe.
No, wait. When Falco first transformed during, like, the fight in, at, like, the port, when they were trying to get they were trying to get the ship, right? That was when he first transformed, right? And then he remembered later that he could fly. I think he did kind of, like, he was kind of berserk a little bit there. And then...
Yeah, maybe he was, actually. I feel like maybe he tried to swat Gabby or something at the very beginning.
It might just be that first transformation when you're like, I've never done this before. What? I don't know.
It was like Eren's third time when he tried to kill Mikasa, I think. True. No, it was second.
Oh, was it?
Well, it's kind of third. He transformed into the Colossal Titan-looking thing to stop the boulder one. The
True.
What do you call those bombs? The cannon fire. Fucking Attack on Titan, who cares? But yeah, I don't know. It's like Ophelia was clearly, like, kind of out of it a little bit. I don't know. Maybe you just get used to it. Maybe certain personalities take to it differently. Yeah, these are all possible explanations. But I don't know. I wanted, like, the twin to not be as, like, out of it. And maybe that scene might have been a little bit more interesting. I don't know. It was pretty good in and of itself. But that's all the notes I have there, and then I just have time skip section where I just have in all caps time skip. It's so Raki can be a man and they can kiss. I totally called this in our last discussion. True. I did say that there was going to be a time skip and that Raki was going to be older so he could kiss her, which was funny. But that is the extent of my notes. That's all of them. Do you have anything to say that we haven't gone over yet? Should we do predictions? How are we going to end this thing?
Let's see. I guess at the end of the Battle in the North, I did really like the thing with Priscilla, like, sensing their energy kind of disappearing.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know. Yeah. If they actually did commit to everyone dying, I think it would have been really cool to have it happen.
Yeah. Kind
of off screen like that. Because that was just so ominous, and it worked for me. I don't know. Like, I didn't think... I thought, obviously, Claire was going to live, but I was almost convinced that we were going to, like, come back after the time skip, and Claire was just going to be full-on, like, an awakened one.
By herself. Yeah.
And by herself, yeah. That, like, I thought, like, those Claymores, when they were up north to take care of an awakened one, I thought it was going to be Claire. I didn't think she was going to be, like, all gone completely, but I thought she was going to kind of be, I don't know, snapped out of it, maybe.
Yeah, a little bit more out of it, a little bit more fucked up, yeah.
Yeah, I definitely did not think we were going to get an actual group surviving this. So that kind of
I thought they would definitely all survive, and I didn't fall for this nonsense.
Oh, fair. I do think it's interesting that the group that survived wasn't entirely that last, like, group of 6 that we had. Like, I mean, some of them from the last 6, like Denis, Maria, Claire, were there at the end. But
are you talking about, like, in the double page where we saw, like, 6 of them?
In the double page, yeah. Because there was the one who has, like, I don't even remember who this is. She has, like, half of her hair, like, covering one of her eyes. I guess a majority of the ones still in this. Because there's Helen, there's Cynthia, Denis, Claire. Okay. Yeah, it's just this last girl, I guess. She didn't live, and she kind of gets replaced.
Are you sure she's
Uma.
not one of the other ones, and she's changed her hair?
I mean, maybe that's Tabitha, and I just don't remember what Tabitha looks like. Because why would I remember what Tabitha looks like?
Mm-hmm.
Certainly possible, but Uma was definitely a surprise because she was not in this last set.
Because there's 7 of them, and there's only 6 of them in the image. That's interesting. Yeah.
I guess she just kind of went unconscious early on. I mean, what did you think of Maria's plan? I thought it was kind of interesting, but I was like, it was definitely like, I don't know. I guess it works that way. Take half the pill, and you can, like, come off as
that was
dead.
A little whatever.
Yeah, I feel like they could have set that up a little better. But it does make sense why Priscilla would think they're all dead if, like, their Yoma energy stopped when they went unconscious. So that kind of makes sense.
It's also like, don't the guys want to like eat them? So why would they like just see them fall over and be like, or did they kill all of them then go unconscious?
Well,
I don't think they did, because then they all went past and got killed by our old mate over there.
Yeah, I guess they were like kind of an army with a mission rather than just. And it's probably the difference too between like awakened beings like the one we saw last time versus ones like the lion dude, Regaldo, that was his name, right? They're these are more like people who have abilities rather than Yoma.
But like one of the first group, when they went there, I feel like they were like, "We're gonna eat you, dumb bitches," or whatever.
Isaac did say like they were the fodder.
Sent them forward because they wouldn't be scouts and they warn them or something. So I guess that could.
The ones they were happy, they were willing to lose. Yeah.
Yeah, I guess this is another similarity to Berserk, where it's like apostles are supposed to want to eat people all the time, and it's like, oh well, they seem to not when they don't. Like, it seems like another thing where it's like how much of you is still alive once you transform into an apostle or into a awakened being. It's like, well, it just kind of depends on what's happening right now.
Yeah, it definitely seems like that is kind of the split between fodder and actual characters. Is the stronger they are, the more intelligent and conscious they are, I guess, the more human-like they are, which makes sense to get you invested in them as characters rather than as an obstacle.
Different personality types or something. I guess that makes sense. Like a mean guy is going to want to eat people, but a nice guy is going to not have to eat people as much and can just be an army man and walk through. All
right. Predictions. Yeah. Let's do it.
I guess all of the predictions I have, I would have, like, I haven't written any down. I guess just all the weird shit I said throughout the discussion that I'm probably not going to remember. The next part is they're going to go south and they're going to encounter somebody we don't expect. And they're going to have some piece of information or something. I wonder how long until we cut to Raki to see him. I wonder if he is that giant guy I saw in that image. Yeah. That will be hilarious. If he is literally 8 feet tall and entirely muscle, which is what I saw. That and then would
Claire's going to be like, I'm sorry, Raki, I only like little boys. I don't like men.
True. So too much man for her.
So true.
He's just going to flex, and the motion of the bicep is going to push her back. He's way stronger than these girls. We're doing gender essentialism in the other direction. Boys are just the strongest now. Let's go. Silly ladies. Move us. Raki's the main character. He's going to save us from the twins.
It would be kind of cool if Raki like kind of had his own kind of black swordsman era. That would be kind of sick.
Priscilla got kidnapped. What's he gonna do?
Oh my god! Wait. It could be good. It could be good. What do you? Yeah, I don't know what is gonna come from this Clarice character.
She's gonna have a heartfelt story where she learns to be strong, and or maybe she's gonna like be corrupted by the organization, and she's gonna become a traitor. I have no idea. I guess the biggest mysteries are probably like, what is happening with Priscilla? Why is she so weird now? And the other thing is like, who is going to be the final bad guy? Is it going to be Islay, Raki, and Priscilla? Or is it going to be the organization and the twins?
I think that is probably not going to be. Go ahead, sorry.
Yeah. It's probably not going to be the other, like the lady and her boyfriend.
Definitely not. I mean, I feel like Isley's being built up very intentionally, and like having Raki very close to him allows us to create
conflict.
One creates conflict, and also gives us a good excuse to have perspective to Isley if he's the kind of main antagonist we're building up to. It definitely allows us to have a bit more investment in him before we get to, I guess, a conflict with him. But
yeah,
I don't know. It also, with the way things have gone with Priscilla, I could totally see like anything happening when it comes to who's going to be kind of the last the last fight, if that even matters. Like, I don't know. Because this could totally be one of those stories where there really isn't a final antagonist, as much as like all of the factions are just kind of always at odds with each other. Like, I guess the big question probably would be, what is Claire's kind of final fight as our protagonist? But I don't know. I could totally see this ending with like a big war.
Or I could see it being her and Raki versus the twins, because that kind of makes sense, because it's 2 versus 2, even though it's not, right? It's like one awakened being and one girl in the back.
It does seem like the organization still is kind of our main goal, but I almost wonder if that's going to be, because they're still mysterious. Yeah.
Right now. But they also, Priscilla was like the one with the most potential, so I don't know if she like lets go or something, she will just become the strongest and everybody's got to stop her or something. I don't know. I just had an idea where it's like, what I bet happens is Claire is walking through an area and she senses Priscilla and she freaks out, and Priscilla's like standing on the apex of a mountain or something, and she rushes up there and she like hits her with her sword and she knocks her down, and she's like very ferocious and mean, and Priscilla's like being a little girl and is crying and stuff, and then the great Raki runs in and says, "Claire, stop." Raki. And then they have a talk, and then Claire is doing something, and then Islay shows up and he like hits Claire and then knocks her away, and then they don't actually get to reunite, and then they have to reunite later. And she says, "What's going on here? Her 2 goals. Which one does she want more? Does she want to save Raki or kill the evil Priscilla?" And how's she going to react when Priscilla's just a little girl? Who knows? That's my prediction.
Yeah, I feel like I'm kind of just in the same boat. It feels like the kind of, I guess, point A to point B feels pretty clear to me right now of like where we're going to end up. But what's going to fill like this whole entire back half of the story, I have kind of no clue.
Yeah. It is interesting, and I do remember thinking, I do remember thinking this last time. It's like, what is like gonna? Because I assume we've got like 7 arcs or something. Like, what is each like? It could just be in like a new character and a new thread or something.
It feels like we've expanded to a point though where like these kind of smaller scale arcs don't even feel as
it would feel a little weird
possible anymore. It feels like there's just such a big canvas now.
I mean, it's also like Claire and like 3 of them go this way and 3 of the other ones go this way, and the 3 other ones have to fight a character, or they have to fight the fucking muscle man and the girlfriend, or something like that. And we're cutting back and forth. I don't know. Yeah.
We definitely do need to take time to flesh out the less, I guess, the characters of this surviving set that we knew a little less of, like Cynthia, Tabitha, Uma. So I guess there's that to do, but I don't know. I feel like there's just such a. I know, like, generally what the kind of end goal should be, but who's kind of standing at the end for the kind of climax, that I feel like I don't know. Like, the order that things are going to happen, no idea. And I feel like a lot of things, like especially Priscilla, anything could really happen with them. Like, I kind of doubt Claire's goal of killing Priscilla is going to be straightforward at all. And we kind of predicted that last time too, that it's kind of not going to be that simple. And with the way things have gone with Priscilla in this set of chapters, clearly it is not. So I don't really know where that goes, and I have no idea how Teresa plays into it. I don't know what's going to happen with Rafaela, because clearly she's been made quite important. But we've already taken care of. I forgot her name already. The sister. That's kind of already been handled. So what do you do with her now?
Lucinia or something.
Lucia or something. Yeah, that's kind of
I
like
think it
already
will just
out
be
of the way.
Another mentor character, I think, and she's going to tell her to unlock the Teresa's true power. You got to click B, left and up, and R3, and
I do think that makes sense. That actually reminds me. I think it's kind of cool that at the end, Claire is kind of like seamlessly switching between the quicksword style and the wind style.
Yeah.
That was pretty neat. I liked that. That was one thing I forgot to mention.
So these different ladies that die, they all go into Claire, and but Teresa was there first, and that's why we'll learn her power last. My goodness.
Yeah. And we also just have the whole new state of the world to get acclimated with. That's probably what the start
we could go to a town and it'll be destroyed because the army came through or something. Yeah.
It definitely kind of feels like a post-eclipse world, almost like maybe not post-eclipse, but like post like the what is it, like Falconia?
Fantasia.
Fantasia. Yes, that's what it was. Where like the kind of two sides of the world have merged a bit more seamlessly. That kind of feels like where we are. Yeah, true. That feels like where we are now. So I'm curious to see how the world is shaped now.
Yeah, we did have to cut to oh my god, Rickett and Erica running away from hydras and stuff to get to Falconia and stuff.
True.
So maybe we'll have some of that. I don't remember any other side characters we can bring back in like that. But yeah, that's all the predictions I have, and I gotta pee really bad. So
then I think we're good. Yeah, I thought this was a good set of chapters. I was honestly fighting to not read more. I really wanted to read more. So I
didn't even ask you. Did you read them all like yesterday or the day before, or what happened?
I had read like half in one night. Like I read up to the start of the Battle in the North in one night, and then I read the other half last night.
Were these consecutive nights?
No, like maybe like 2 days after we finished recording. I started because I wanted to read more, and then I just got so busy, and then I was like, I need to lock in, and it was just so good. It's so hard to stop. It's very, very good. Still sitting at an 8. I agree, but I could see it pushing further once it characterizes main characters more. True. Yeah, I think 2 weeks is a good cadence.
Yeah. So I guess that's when the people can expect the next one.
Hopefully, maybe,
probably. I don't know. Things might come up. I don't know. Don't be fucking asking me what's going to happen in the future. I'm not. Well, I know everything in the story, of course. I'm a genius in that, but in the real life,
everything's been predicted. True. Well, there's kind of no point in reading now. You should just write the rest of it.
Just let me write it. I'll just erase Claymore. I'll fill in. I can draw too. I can't draw at all. Don't let me draw.
The Chad Racky. That's what the rest of the story is going to be.
Chad Racky kissing Claire. That's going to be the whole last chapter. No, Claire's got a husband, and he needs to come back. Oh my god, we're going to cut to those guys. They're going to be fighting off a thingy.
True.
Oh, it's going to be great.
That's going to be cinema. So. But we'll see next time. Thank you for watching. Support links below. Bye.
You nearly said the thing.
I can never.